mean, some of the customers that I'm working with, I'm running into no man's land a little bit on certain accounts, and I'm just going to try to get your advice here.
Sure.
So this, what the situation is, some of our guys have they have like a local office with a local site manager, but they might be across the whole province of BC or across Canada, and so they'll be looking into a piece of equipment, a forklift. So I'll give them a recommendation. So what I'm really trying to refine, obviously, is knowing their current situation, what capabilities they need,
Mm-hmm.
why they need it, to give my very best shot with that on-site manager. But then what he does is he takes that, and sometimes he takes a few quotes from other places, and he sort of punts it up to corporate, so to speak, and who is waiting for. Sometimes they're waiting for a contract for that company, or maybe they're just weighing a few things out. So where I'm getting lost a little bit is essentially in what's a good next step for me, and sometimes that individual doesn't have a great answer because they're basically sending it to other managers who are waiting. And so he's waiting to hear back from them. I'm waiting to hear back from him. And I'm trying to stay connected with these people, and either A, find a good way to reach out to them again, even though I know they might still be waiting, or B, kind of some touch points, whether I send them a story of, here's a customer who's worked with that equipment. Here's their experience. Here's some people that we've worked with. Here's, just to kind of give a little bit more information. So I'm trying to stay connected without being a pest,
Yep.
essentially.
I got you covered. Okay, so we're going to do this in reverse order. The touch points, as long as they're not, too salesy, number one, and as long as they don't totally distract him and take their eye off the ball. For example, if it's a certain forklift that you're trying to get installed at this facility, right? Don't be sending them a different product than you talked about before just because you happen to have a white paper on that. Now it's distracting, right? But you can say, hey, I did notice, with just some recent research came out on the battery life of that particular forklift, if it was an electric one, or its fuel efficiency, if it wouldn't be regular fuel, it'd be natural gas probably because they're indoor. And I just thought this would be useful for you guys as you're getting ready to, start using this equipment. So I'm fine with a drip campaign with useful stuff. Now, here's where the real help is going to come. You're talking to somebody who is going to hand off your deal to somebody else. And what I heard you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're having a good conversation with them, and they're like, we'll talk to corporate, and then we'll let you know. And you're kind of like, you don't know what to do, and then you're sitting there in a dead zone in no man's land, yes?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so you're them, I'm you. I'm going to show you how to end that conversation. By the way, I've had a great conversation with you. I know where you're at. I know your facility is doing 17 million a year right now. I know what's important to you is you guys want to get to 30 million without having to hire additional people and without having to put an ancillary building next to the one building. And this forklift is going to help make the crew that you have there more skillful and efficient. And it's also going to allow them to add a whole nother layer of storage on top, which is going to equip the blah, 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 equip the building to be able to, all I'm saying is I know all of that. I didn't just talk to you, hey, great, I've got forklifts, right? Like I figured out why the hell you want the forklift, okay? So I got the quote all ready for you and I'm ready to go and I understand your situation. Here's how that dialogue can go. You're them, and what I want you to do is say, I got to run it up the flagpole to leadership. So I'm going to say, hey, Sheldon, based on everything that you're telling me with the forklift and being able to get you guys from 16 million to 32 million, this is an excellent piece of equipment to do just that. And I feel like I've got a really solid understanding of what you guys are trying to do here operationally as far as maximize the resources that you have here in-house and augment them with additional equipment versus having to hire people. And this particular unit, this particular forklift is going to help you guys get exactly that, get you from that 16 million to 32 million ideally without having to hire a single new person or build anything else in the building there. Does it make sense to get the order placed so we can get those 3 units in here, getting you guys from 16 million to 32 million?
Yeah, Matt, I really appreciate all the information. That sounds like you really understand what we're doing. What I'm going to do, if you send over that quote, I'm going to send it up to our corporate, and they're going to take a look. And they're weighing out pricing from a few different vendors as well. And as soon as I hear from them, I'll get back to you on that.
Perfect. Did corporate give you any idea of when they're going to have a final decision made?
Yeah, well, it depends a little bit in this situation because they are trying to secure a contract. And if we can get the contract with appliances, that will accelerate this deal. If we don't get that contract, it could slow it down. So there's a little bit of, we're waiting to hear how that contract's going to go.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's a must-have if the appliance contract comes in. We're not able to fulfill that commitment with the appliance contract. It's a great to have and something we're going to need to get done, but not necessarily, absolutely positively need to have if the appliance contract doesn't come in. Did I hear you correctly there?
Yeah, that's right. We're fully going ahead. If the appliance contract comes in, we know we are gonna get it eventually. Just depends if it comes around this fall or if we wait till next spring. And so it's gonna depend on that.
Who's working the appliance one? Is that you? Are you doing that one or is somebody else doing that?
That would be somebody else from corporate waiting to
Okay.
hear back on that.
What does your gut tell you as far as I know you had said you're going to know either now or I think you had said the fall. What does your gut tell you when you guys will have a definitive answer on the appliance contract?
It's looking good for this fall.
Okay.
Yeah, at this moment looks like we may have a good chance of winning this one.
When you say fall, is that September, October? Where are your thoughts there?
We're hoping to know by October
Okay.
To be finalized there.
Okay, October. Got it. How about we do this? Give me like 25 minutes after our call today, Sheldon. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to write up kind of a one-pager with my understanding of your current situation, where you guys are at now, how these lifts are going to help you get there, the capabilities that you need in that lift, both in terms of securing this appliance, being able to fulfill this appliance contract once it's secured, and then really all the other contracts that are going to come in thereafter. And then I'll propose some next steps, including the timing that we're going to need to be able to get the lifts in here, get them installed, and get everybody trained in order to make good on that and be prepared for that appliance contract so we're not delaying that. Give me like 30 minutes. I'll have that all written up in just kind of a really nice tight one-pager so that you'll have that as a reminder, and then that's something that you can send up to corporate, Sheldon. I will have that out to you here, within about 30 minutes. And then Sheldon, what's the best number for me to text you? Is the 7372, is this your mobile number? Is this a good number for me to text you when I hit send up? Perfect.
Yeah, that's the number you can get me on. That's
okay,
perfect.
Give me 30. I'm going to write up my understanding of current situation, capabilities needed, next steps. I'm going to text you on the 7372 number just to let you know I hit send on it. So you're not waiting around, waiting to talk to corporate and it's lost in an email box and something there. And then what's a good next step for me?
Yeah, I guess once I have that, I'm definitely going to send it on. You know what? If you could, we should know more by September 1st, at least what direction this is going. If you could get back to me around the first week of September, and I'll have a better understanding of what's going to happen next there, I think, at that time.
Perfect. I will call you September 1st. If I haven't heard from you before then, expect an email from me in the next 30 minutes. I'll send you a text. That number I'm texting you from is my mobile. Anything comes up between now and September 1st where you've got a question, corporate's got a question, anybody on that appliance deal's got a question, I'm here for you whenever you need. Call me, text me, email. Otherwise, I'm going to reach out to you September 1st.
Sounds great.
Okay, I'm out of no man's land. You were supposed to be hard, right? But it's hard to not give me what I want. Now, instead of telling me September 1st, okay, here's what I want you to say, because I just want to show worst case scenario here. Just be like, I don't know, we'll call you when we hear. So I'm going to say, hey, Sheldon, I'll have that out to you in about 30 minutes. I will text you once I hit send on that email. By the way, this is important that you guys follow that process, because I cannot tell you, I'm a blockhead. I have screwed up so many of my deals before I figured this was happening. I'll email them something and it goes into Neverland on the email. And by the way, now what am I waiting on? A freaking appliance contract in November. So now all of this time goes by. He's never had the email. And then I'm reporting that this deal's going to come in, and then he doesn't remember me, and then he's like, I never got an email. It's garbage. So this is an opportunity for you to make sure that they saw the email and show them how freaking professional you are. And you're in their text thread. And you find when you do that, that thread will stay alive. They'll be like, I just talked to corporate. We got a DEFCON 5 issue here. Call me when you can. Let me step out in the parking lot. And now all of a sudden you're rolling in that deal. But I digress. What I want you to say when I say what's a good next step for me is, hey, I'll let you know when I hear from corporate. So I'll have that email out to you in about 30 minutes here. I'm going to text you on your 7372. And then what's a good next step for me, Sheldon?
Yeah, it's a bit tough. We'll get back to, we got some guys on holidays right now and people are coming and going, so it's going to take them a while to go through it. When I hear back, I'll get back to you.
Perfect. And my understanding, we're going to have an initial go, no go on the appliance deal. You had said fall. We're guessing around October on that point. We're, of course, going to need a little bit of runway to make sure that we get the equipment order. What is today? Today's August 14th. I'll shoot the email to you in about 30 minutes. And then how about we do this? I will call you September 15th if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough?
That sounds fair. Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. And I would have said the first, but I didn't want to make you guys feel like he's rigging it because he said the first. So I made it even worse. But here's the cool thing. In every scenario, what do I have? A next freaking step. And this is why Mike was like, what I like about Easton University is I'm a lot more sane. Me too. I was going insane because I was in the holes that you were in, Sheldon, and I was like, I sent this stuff over to Lena. My gut says that Lena's going to get this, and this is great, and it's awesome. But then I'm like, well, I don't know. What if corporate doesn't want it? What if there's another Lena in the company? What this is allowing me to do, and am I saying you're going to 100% get the deal? I don't know. What I'm saying is you don't care. Because now, in your case, you told me 9-1. So now I know I got 15, 20 minutes to do a current situation, capabilities needed, next steps, power email. Gonna look badass, right? I'm gonna send that over. I might put you in a drip, which we talked about, where you're gonna get some cool little videos on the forklift, whatever, okay? That's outside of your sales process. That's a marketing drip, but the drip is not gonna distract you. And then, in your case, you told me 9-1. So on 9-1, I'm going to go, hey, Sheldon, Matt Easton over here with the Easton Equipment Sales. As promised, calling to see if it makes sense to get those 3 forklifts ordered so that we can service that appliance contract and, more importantly, put the division in that position to go from 16 million to 32 million. I'm going to resend you the contract right now. I'm on my mobile, 720-660-3202. That's your voicemail on 9-1. If you say, I don't know what to do, and I just set it for, I can't remember what was the date I set it for, 9/14, I've got it in my CRM on 9/14, you're getting that exact same message. And this is how we can go from working 4 deals and being stressed out to 400 deals and exponentially less stressed out because I know exactly what I'm going to do on each deal. What I don't want to do is ever get off any phone call with a client that's like, yeah, we'll let you know when we hear from corporate. I almost would rather not have that sale. Why? Because the heartburn that it's going to cause me is almost not worth the commission. I know this sounds crazy, but you'll get to a point where you have so many deals in your pipeline because you're being skillful, streamlined, and effective that you're like, I just don't even want to work the ones that I can't lock in a next step. But the good news is you won't have to, because with that pattern that I just showed you, and it's in the eastonuniversity.com portal, nobody has ever been like, no, I told you, I'll call you. Don't call me ever. And if that's the case, if you're hearing that, now they're the psycho that's leaving the message on Becky Ardell's voicemail, not you, right? Now they just revealed themselves as the psycho, which, by the way, in B2B sales, you will run into some psychos. Why? There are psychos out there that call people as awesome as Lena and are like, just get a quote. We're already going with OxCorp because it's Brad's brother's company. But the board says we need 3 bids. You can sniff those people out a mile away because every time you set a next step, they're like, oh, no, this is great. They have no objections. They never complain about anything. And they're like, we'll get back to you. No, you won't. This is where you can now go, all right, I'm just going to put them in the pile of like, cool, if it comes in, great. If not, whatever. But 98% of the time, they're going to allow you to set that next step. And then the cool thing is, Sheldon, you have until, in your case, September 1st, where I don't have to worry about that deal anymore and I can prospect. And in my case where I said it, September 14th, where I don't have to worry about that deal anymore and I can prospect it. What I don't want you guys doing is getting your coffee in the morning, opening whatever the hell CRM you use, and staring at stuff like it's magically going to start closing.